At the start of the movie, a helicopter lands in the middle of a desert beside a stunning high-end villa. A couple steps out. The man's name is Richard, and the woman's name is Jennifer. Jennifer has come here with her insanely rich boyfriend for a romantic getaway and to enjoy a little hunting. Richard's already married, and Jennifer knows that perfectly well. In fact, she's only with him because of his money. His wealth and lavish lifestyle are what pull her in. She's just here for the thrill. The next morning, while Jennifer is wandering around the villa, she spots two men outside carrying rifles. They turn out to be Richard's friends, Stan and Dimitri. The second Stan lays eyes on Jennifer, he's hooked. His attraction keeps growing through their small interactions during the day. That evening, everyone's drinking together. Jennifer puts on a song from her phone and starts dancing. She calls Richard to join her, but he waves her off, saying he's tired. So she playfully invites Stan instead and dances with him. During the dance, Stan completely loses control. The next morning, Jennifer wakes up to find Richard gone. He's out handling some business. Meanwhile, Stan set up breakfast for her and waits at the table. Jennifer joins him, but as the conversation goes on, she starts sensing something off. Making an excuse, she goes back to her room to shower. As Jennifer's changing, Stan peeks in through the window. She catches him, but instead of backing off, he walks right in and says, "This is kind of awkward, but we never really got to know each other. What kind of guys do you go for?" Jennifer replies coldly, "I like tall guys, and you're definitely not my type." Stan smirks. "Didn't seem to bother you last night when you were grinding up on me." Jennifer tries to walk away, but he grabs her arm and forces himself on her. At that moment, Dimitri walks in. Stan snaps, "Can't you see we're busy here?" Dimitri silently turns and walks out. Stan rapes Jennifer while Dimitri turns up the TV volume to drown out her screams. Sometime later, Richard comes back. Stan tells him what happened. When Richard goes into the room, Jennifer is lying there in shock. Jennifer demands that Richard call a helicopter right away. Richard tries to calm her. "Don't worry, everything's okay. You'll be leaving soon. I've already wired a ton of money to your account. You always wanted to go to LA, now you can." But Jennifer, still traumatized, says she just wants to go home. Richard suggests she rest and leave later, but she insists. When he refuses, she snaps, "If you don't call the helicopter right now, I'll call your wife and tell her everything." That sets Richard off. Furious, he slaps her and yells, "How dare you bring my wife into this? Don't you ever say her name again." Terrified and furious, Jennifer bolts from the villa. Richard chases after her with Stan and Dimitri close behind. Humiliated and broken, Jennifer keeps running aimlessly through the desert until she reaches the edge of a steep cliff. Richard pleads with her not to do anything crazy, trying to justify himself. "I was under pressure. I lost control." He grabs Stan's phone and pretends to call for a helicopter, telling Jennifer it'll arrive in 30 minutes. She starts to calm down a bit, but then, in a shocking twist, Richard pushes her off the cliff. Jennifer plummets onto a dead tree and a sharp branch impales her abdomen. It looks like she's dead. Stan and Dimitri are horrified. Richard, cold and emotionless, says, "You didn't want to go to prison, and I didn't want to lose my wife. This had to be done." The three men walk back to the villa, but Stan can't shake the guilt. He tells Richard it wasn't right. Richard smirks and says, "Who's Jennifer?" The camera cuts to Jennifer's body. Blood everywhere, ants crawling across her face. But then something incredible happens. She starts breathing again. Despite the blood loss and the wooden stake lodged through her stomach, Jennifer somehow survives. She notices a lighter nearby, grabs it, and uses it to set the tree she's stuck on ablaze. The fire burns through the wood, freeing her. Meanwhile, Richard, Stan, and Dimitri arrive at the cliff where her body should be. Jennifer senses them approaching and quietly hides against the cliff wall. When they look down, she's gone. After that, when they all reach the ground, they notice several blood trails leading in one direction, eventually stopping near a small pond. That's when it becomes clear Jennifer's still alive. To find her, the three men split up and head in different directions. Meanwhile, as Dmitri steps aside to take a leak, Jennifer suddenly sneaks up behind him, grabs his own gun, and aims it straight at his head. But when she pulls the trigger, click, nothing happens. The gun isn't loaded. Dmitri instantly radios the others, yelling that he's got Jennifer. A brutal fight breaks out. Jennifer lunges forward and drives a knife straight into Dmitri's eyes, screaming, both of them bursting in a horrifying spray. He collapses and dies an agonizing death. Jennifer grabs his gun and car, speeds away, and eventually finds shelter inside a cave. There, she builds a small fire to rest for a while. When she wakes up, she screams in pain. A thick wooden branch has pierced right through her stomach. Gasping, she remembers that Richard once gave her a powerful survival drug, just in case. She still has it in her pocket. Summoning every ounce of strength, Jennifer takes the drug. It hits her hard. Waves of dizziness, laughter, screams, and strange music swirl inside her mind. In that hallucinatory state, she gets an idea. She heats her knife in the fire, cuts into her own stomach, and pulls out the bloody wooden piece. Blood gushes. Without hesitation, she slices a metal can in half, heats it, and presses it on the wound, cauterizing it. The smell of burning flesh fills the air. Thanks to the drug, she barely feels anything, and the bleeding slowly stops. By morning, the others still have no clue Dmitri's dead. While Stan is washing his face by the pond, he spots Dmitri's swollen, half-eaten corpse floating in the water, unrecognizable and horrifying. They immediately realize Jennifer did it. Richard tells Stan they should split up and cover more ground. Each goes their own way. Jennifer, using binoculars, spots a car approaching. It's Stan. When Stan's car runs out of gas, he pulls over to refill the tank. That's when Jennifer takes her shot. The bullet hits him in the shoulder, not a kill shot, but enough to make him scream in pain and stumble away. Desperate, he ties his sock tightly around the wound to stop the bleeding. Jennifer keeps searching, but Stan circles around and sneaks up behind her. He raises his gun and fires. The bullet grazes her head, slicing off part of her ear. Stan sprints back to his car, jumps in, and floors it, driving straight toward Jennifer. She doesn't move. Instead, she steadies her aim and fires again, and again. Most bullets miss, but the last one hits dead center. Stan crashes to a stop, killed instantly. Now, only Richard remains. He searches everywhere for Jennifer, but there's no trace, no response on the radio. Exhausted and paranoid, he returns to the villa, rests for a while, and calls for a helicopter evac. Then he steps into the shower, trying to wash away the panic. But suddenly, he hears something outside. His instincts kick in. He grabs his gun, steps out, and there she is, Jennifer, covered in blood, eyes burning with fury. She raises a shotgun and fires. The blast tears into Richard's stomach. Groaning, he stumbles into another room, wraps plastic tightly around his torso to stop the bleeding, and reloads his gun. Now they face each other, the final showdown. Jennifer doesn't hesitate. She fires again, another shotgun blast ripping through Richard's abdomen. He collapses instantly. Blood splatters across the walls. Jennifer walks out slowly, breathing hard. Her revenge is finally complete. Moments later, the sound of helicopter blades echoes in the distance, and the screen fades to